And there's so many brilliant artists out there who get stuck in this, going deeper and deeper into that self deprecation and self loathing. It destroys their short lived careers. It's not an easy place to be, to hit that wall where you feel like you're not good enough. Is it me? Or is it crazy to think that this one simple idea could change your perspective and change the perspective of every struggling photographer? I don't think it is just me, and I don't think it is crazy. You're about to learn what it takes to live free of fear, to finally feel confident in your work, and to step into your true authenticity as an artist. Get ready, because this is where we learn to stand out, to say yes to creating the work that we so deeply desire. Welcome. I'm Denise Birdsong, and I teach photographers and artists how to finally make their mark. Hey, photographers, welcome back. Today, we are going to explore and identify that missing piece that so many of us feel is missing from our work. Is it me, or is it crazy to think that this one simple idea could change your perspective and change the perspective of every struggling photographer? I don't think it is just me, and I don't think it is crazy. And that's why I can't wait to share today's episode with you. I believe that for some of you, it might be the biggest aha moment that you've had, and I'm excited to be a part of it with you. Throughout my career as a professional photographer and educator, I have seen group post after group post and thread after thread, conversation after conversation, direct message after direct message of people yearning for and looking for that missing thing in their work that they just can't seem to figure out. You sign up for classes, and you sign up for more classes, and then you sign up for some more classes, and you buy all the posing guides, all of the posing guides, just in search of this thing that you're yearning for and you feel like is missing from your work, and you just can't put your finger on it. And all of these things that you do, all of these classes that you take, all of these posing guides that you buy, they leave you feeling like there's still that missing piece. It hasn't been resolved. It's still there. There's that constant yearning for that something other, something more, something better in your work. And I get it. Everybody wants to feel rooted in their value, and this is a real phenomenon. This isn't just happening to me, or just to you, or just a few photographers. This happens to so many of us. Today I hope to shed some light on this and help you and other photographers on your path to creating beautiful art that is authentic and fills you with pride and allows you to feel rooted in your value as an artist. I want you to ask yourself a question. How many sessions have you done where you've walked away from your session and you're like, I've nailed all of this. It was amazing. I did perfect. No room for improvement. I'm awesome. Probably not many. And guess what? You're not alone. Every photographer has struggled with this. We've all struggled with feeling this way. The difference is in what happens next. That's the most important part, what you do with it. So, in all of my years as a photographer and as an educator, I have seen so many people struggle with this. And many people, far too many incredibly talented and amazing artists shy away from the discomfort of this feeling and get stuck in that negative loop, that terrible self-talk, that feeling of inadequacy, that rabbit hole that does not lead to wonderland for sure. Unfortunately, this is more common that you would think. I mean, there's so many brilliant artists out there who get stuck in this, going deeper and deeper into that self-deprecation and self-loathing, and it destroys their short-lived careers. But then They're the ones who are brave, the ones who lean in to that discomfort. And when they're feeling inadequate or they're feeling not 100%, or they're just not happy with their work, or they're looking for that missing piece, and they're trying to do new things to build upon their skills, they'll push into that discomfort. They don't shy away from it, they lean into it, and they'll try new techniques, and they'll experiment in their studios, and they'll set up, portfolio building days and personal project days. They do the things that they need to do to stretch and to grow and to expand. So just really lean into that level of discomfort instead of shying away from it. They take it for the opportunity that it is. And to be honest with you guys, I've recently experienced this myself, and it's tough. It's not an easy place to be, to hit that wall where you feel like you're not good enough and you're yearning to be better and you're wanting to do more and you're not quite sure how. And you actually have to sit with that discomfort of knowing that you're going to have what I like to call perceived failures, because I don't really like the word failures. You're going to have those perceived failures in order to learn something new. And I get it, man. It is uncomfortable and it is not fun. And I have to remind myself when I'm going through it, I'm lucky to have this opportunity. This feeling is me growing. It's going to be okay. You're going to get there. I have to stay positive constantly when I'm in that time of feeling unsure and feeling uncomfortable. It's important to keep reminding yourself of that. So, I created this podcast that we're on right now totally out of my comfort zone. I take beautiful pictures. I take gorgeous pictures. I'm exceptional at this. This is what I do so very well. I don't podcast. This is brand new to me. All of the skills needed for podcasting, are not skills that I possess in spades currently. Um, but I'm not going to let that stop me. I am going to lean into the discomfort and I am going to lean into the growth. I am not going to be afraid of how I'm seen or how I'm viewed or if I'm rejected. Um, because if I wasn't able and willing to show up vulnerably right now, totally out of my comfort zone for you, I wouldn't be able to get this message to you. I wouldn't be able to grow. I wouldn't be able to learn how to be my very best to bring you, the people that I want to serve, as much value as I could possibly bring. I have to lean into this discomfort. I have to. I don't have a choice in order to learn and grow. This is the journey. This is the artist journey. And I'm committed to being in it because I want to do my best for me and I want to do my best for you, the people that I serve. I know that as photographers, you have many clients that you care about and that you serve as well. And I know that you want to do your very best for them. And sometimes it's hard when that missing piece is like tugging at you and you're just feeling like you're not enough. And again, I'm going to assert that you are enough, but that feeling means it's time to grow. And I am here to make my mark, feeling the same way that you might be feeling, so that you can make your mark as an authentic and amazing artist as well. And we'll go on this journey together and we're going to do beautiful things together. So there's a word for this, and it's called vulnerability. Simply put, vulnerability is defined as a state of being exposed to the possibility of being attacked or harmed, either physically or emotionally. That doesn't sound very good, the way it's defined, right? But I would argue that the typical definition or notion of what vulnerability is a bit askew. To be vulnerable, to open, to be open to the idea of being attacked, of experiencing pain or experiencing rejection is the strongest and bravest state that you can be in. It is one of the most beautiful things that you can do. And I believe that vulnerability allows all of the beautiful things in our life to come in. It's such a strong and powerful state to be in. And it is definitely something to be welcomed. It does take a little bit of practice, but you can absolutely do it. Without the ability to be vulnerable, truly vulnerable, open yourself up to the discomfort, to the growth, to the fear of rejection, to the fear of how you're going to be perceived, to all of those fears that you have, which we'll examine in later episodes. Without being vulnerable, there really is no room for true growth. You have to be vulnerable in order to bring in this new information and to learn new things and to grow and to go on your journey to becoming your full and authentic self, to finding your artistic voice. You have to be willing to explore and try new things. You're going to fail at some of them, but failure is a welcome thing. It's this golden opportunity to soar and to grow and to learn and to do more. It's not a bad thing. So we're going to shift our perspective on vulnerability being a bad thing. And we're going to move forward now, realizing that it is strong and it is brave and that nothing bad is going to happen from being vulnerable. What is going to happen is we are going to learn and we are going to grow. And this is a beautiful journey to be on. Over the years, I've had so many students who've gone through this same thing. The method that I teach requires a tremendous amount of vulnerability. And I mean, there are a million students that I could bring up, but one that comes to mind who is in one of my most recent classes, her name is Amy Catlin. And she really struggled with letting go and becoming vulnerable. And we worked on it and we worked on it, and it just clicked. And she let go of her fears and she decided to lean into the process. And the most beautiful things happened. She started creating work that was uh, light years ahead of what she had been previously creating. And had Amy not done that, she wouldn't have created the work that she is the most proud of and most satisfied with and makes her clients the most happy today. So just letting go of that fear and becoming vulnerable and trying new things and leaning into that discomfort, leaning into the growth journey. It changes everything. I've watched it time and time again. It's miraculous to watch people go through this. It's beautiful, and you can do it as well. Every single artist that I've seen do this, again, they're not magical unicorns. They're not special snowflakes. They're people who come to peace with the fact that in order to grow, we have to step outside of our comfort zone. We have to be vulnerable and we have to try new things. And when you're willing to do that, beautiful things are going to happen. So when you're feeling that tugging of, oh, I'm not good enough, or that flinch of, oh, I wish I was a little bit more like, again, I would assert that you're getting to a place where you're plateauing, and perhaps it's time to start stepping outside of your box. Maybe it's time to grow a little bit. And remember, with that growth is going to come a journey, and there's going to be a little bit of uncomfortableness, and there's going to be some stepping outside of your box, and there are going to be amazing wins and gains. And there are going to be perceived failures that, again, are those golden nuggets that allow you to soar and do beautiful things. And we're going to call them perceived failures. My mom used to always tell me, never waste a good mistake. And I would tell you the same thing. Every time we do something imperfectly, we now have the opportunity to learn from it and do better. These are amazing gifts that we're given every time we do it, not perfectly. Um, so take from those what you should and know that this journey, this growth journey, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. And it's going to require vulnerability. And you're brave. I know you're brave. And I know that you can do that. I believe in you. And I know that this is something that you can do. As you depart on your journey to taking it to the next level, to shooting at a higher degree, to being more fulfilled and rooted in your value and in your work and being full of pride with your work, that every artist needs their own path. And I want you to make sure that when you're growing, you're not just taking this class, that class, the other class, buying this posing guide or that posing guide. Make sure that it's true education and growth. Um, really do your homework about your educator, and look for things that will not teach you do as I do, but will teach you how to make it your own, because every artist needs to have their own unique and true voice. Like I tell all of my students, you're here with your unique voice to tell your beautiful story. You don't have to do as I do. Um, you need to learn the skills and the tools and possess the knowledge to create that work that's authentic to you in your voice in a beautiful way. Okay, so honestly, it's a pretty profound idea that when you're feeling not quite good enough, it's really important to lean into that and start examining why. Usually it's because you need to grow, and that's okay. That's part of being an artist. The industry will tell us imposter syndrome is horrible, it's bad. Um, I've even thought that in the past myself. And I've now come to the realization that it's not bad. It's an indication that you're plateauing and you need to grow, and leaning into that growth and being vulnerable and being willing to stretch and try things that are outside of your comfort zone. To be vulnerable, these are the things that are going to take you further on your journey and get you closer to creating work that you're in love with, that your clients are in love with. They're going to fill you with pride and joy. And you're not going to look at other photographers and be like, oh, I wish, because you're going to be on your own journey and your own path, using your authentic voice, creating beautiful work, and being mindful of when you plateau and when it's time to continue growing. I invite you to join us in our Facebook community group. Subscribe to this podcast and let's make our mark together. Join us next week as we talk about rock stars, groupies, and standing out from the crowd. It's been a pleasure spending time with you today, and I'll look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Bye, guys.